This is the true story of Aokigahara, the chilling stories of campers vanished without a trace, of ghostly apparitions, and of terrifying whispers on the wind that lure the unsuspecting to their doom. Japan's sacred Mount Fuji looms over a landscape both stunning and somber. At its base lies a primeval forest so dense, so mysteriously silent, that it's earned the name the Sea of Trees. And it's here in this spectral realm that we find our story. Aokigahara isn't just a place, it's an enigma. Even the air seems to hold its breath, muffling all sound. Among the gnarled ancient trees, a haunting stillness reigns, broken only by the rustle of leaves underfoot and the eerie cry of distant birds. But it's a deceptive tranquility. Beneath the canopy's hushed embrace, shadows stir and secrets hide. This is the story of a place where reality blurs and the veil between worlds grows thin, where the earth itself seems to mourn and the trees bear witness to the darkest chapters of human despair. And now I am going to tell you the story of what happened to a Japanese hiker who vanished without a trace in the mysterious suicide forest. Makoto had always loved hiking. For him, the trail was more than just a path. It was a journey inwards, a chance to lose himself in nature's grandeur. He'd often escaped the city's clamor for the tranquil embrace of the woods. And this time, he chose a place that would become his final solace. He set out alone, eager to conquer the rugged terrain around Mount Fuji. Little did he know that this hike would be his last. He left no forwarding address, no note, not a whisper of where he planned to go. As days turned into nights, worry etched lines on his family's faces. The police launched a frantic search, but the vast forest yielded few clues. Every rustle of leaves, every snapped twig sent a jolt of hope through them. But it was hope that turned to despair. Makoto was gone. The forest had swallowed him whole. In the heart of the Sea of Trees, nestled amidst the ancient giants, there's a clearing known only to a handful. A fire pit lay cold and abandoned, surrounded by stones. Nearby, a tent lay in disarray, as if hastily abandoned. And then they found the log. It was simple, unadorned, yet in that moment, it became a grim focal point. Carved into its rough bark were chilling words that echoed Makoto's despair. A stark reminder of the darkness that can consume even the brightest soul. The discovery shook the small town. Speculation ran rampant. Had Makoto sought solace here? Was this his final refuge before vanishing? Or did something sinister befall him right here? Amidst the towering trees, a haunting tableau unfolded. Here was a hiker's backpack, its contents strewn around like discarded memories. Nearby, a tent lay in disarray, as if its occupant had fled in terror. And then their eyes fell upon a sight that chilled them to the bone. A log bearing a message, stark and somber. It was a chilling testament to the despair that had driven Makoto to the depths of his anguish. And yet, amidst the tragedy, questions lingered. What had driven him to this desolate spot? Why had he chosen this place of shadows and secrets as his final resting ground? And most hauntingly of all, where was he now? The forest held its secrets close, shrouding him in an eerie silence that was more terrifying than any scream. As twilight deepened and the forest floor grew dim, the searchers felt an unsettling shift. The playful rustle of leaves took on a sinister tone. The hoot of an owl sounded like a mournful cry. Even the wind seemed to carry whispers of despair. Suddenly, a blood-curdling scream shattered the tense quiet. In that instant, the tranquility of the woods was shattered. The very essence of the forest seemed to recoil in horror. Then they saw it, a fleeting shadow that vanished as quickly as it appeared. Hope surged, quickly followed by apprehension. Could it be Makoto? Was he out there, lost and afraid? Or was it something more sinister, a figment of their fear-addled imaginations? The question hung heavy in the gathering gloom. With each passing moment, the line between hope and despair grew thinner, mirroring the darkening sky. The forest stood as an enigmatic witness to their unease, its ancient trees bearing silent testimony to the unfolding drama. As darkness descended, fear took root. Every snapping twig, every whispering leaf sounded like pursuing footsteps. The gentle murmur of the stream became a menacing growl. The tranquil forest had transformed into a menacing labyrinth, its beauty replaced by an oppressive dread. Lost in this labyrinth of fear, the searchers grappled with the encroaching darkness, both literal and metaphorical. The forest seemed to conspire against them, its shadows deepening their fears, and its silence amplifying their solitude. The next morning, dawn broke over the sea of trees, painting the sky with hues of hope. Yet as the light touched the forest floor, it revealed a scene that made their hearts sink. More disturbing messages carved into trees, each a testament to the darkness that lingers at the edge of despair. These weren't just words. They were cries for help, laments of love lost, and echoes of tormented souls. Then came the discovery that sent a chill down their spines. A collection of personal belongings, each item a silent plea for attention. A hiker's cap, a worn jacket, a half-empty water bottle. These weren't just objects. They were fragments of a story, a narrative of a man grappling with despair, seeking solace in the solitude of the ancient woods. But why? What had led Makoto to this secluded sanctuary, this ethereal realm shrouded in mist and mystery? The forest held its breath, its ancient trees standing as stoic sentinels of time. As the light waned, so did their hope. The playful rustle of leaves took on a sinister undertone, transforming the familiar woods into a menacing labyrinth. Every snapped twig echoed with unseen footsteps. Every whispering leaf carried a phantom's lament. The forest, once a place of solace, had become a haunted realm where reality frayed and shadows danced to a macabre tune. And then it happened. A blood-curdling scream pierced the gathering gloom. It wasn't the call of a bird, the cry of a startled animal, or the laughter of a fellow hiker. It was a sound that spoke of raw human terror. In that instant, the serene facade of the forest cracked, revealing the abyss of fear that lay beneath. The scream reverberated through the ancient trees, each one seeming to shudder at the sound. It wasn't just a noise. It was a harrowing testament to the unseen forces that stirred within the heart of the sea of trees. The scream hung heavy in the twilight, unanswered, unexplained, a haunting echo in the gathering darkness. As dusk settled, casting long, eerie shadows, a sense of foreboding descended. The gentle murmur of the stream transformed into a menacing growl. The soothing rustle of leaves became a chorus of whispers. The tranquility of the woods had evaporated, replaced by a thick, suffocating dread. Every step they took seemed to echo their own mortality. The forest floor, once a place of solace, now pressed in on them, a suffocating blanket of earth and shadow. And then their eyes caught a fleeting glimpse of movement in the periphery, a shadow that seemed to dance at the edge of their vision. Hope surged, quickly followed by a surge of adrenaline. Was it Makoto? Had he somehow managed to signal his presence? Or was it something else, a figment of their fear-tossed imaginations? A sense of foreboding settled over the searchers. The carefree laughter that had echoed through the woods moments ago was replaced by hushed whispers and nervous glances. The vibrant colors of the foliage seemed to drain away, leaving a sickly pallor in their wake. The forest, once a place of joy, had morphed into a sinister stage where the rules of reality seemed to bend. The cheerful banter ceased. In its place, an unnerving quietude descended. It was a silence pregnant with unspoken fears, a silence that screamed of lurking dangers and hidden perils. As night deepened, the whispers grew louder, weaving a tapestry of dread around the lone fire. Every gust of wind carried a new chill. Every snapping twig sounded like approaching footsteps. The rustling leaves transformed into disembodied voices, their words lost to the ages. Was it the wind, the forest's way of communicating? Or was it something more sinister? A harbinger of the unseen forces that stalk the woods? Their campfire, once a beacon of warmth and camaraderie, sputtered in the gathering gloom, its flames mirroring the flickering nature of their hope. The shadows around them writhed, taking on shapes that stirred primal fears. Faces that shouldn't have been there leered from the darkness, their eyes burning like embers in the night. Panic tightened its icy grip around their hearts. The tranquility of their evening had been shattered, replaced by a symphony of fear conducted by the unseen hand of the forest. As the flames danced and flickered, they shared stories, each designed to chase away the encroaching darkness. Jokes turned strained, laughter echoed hollowly in the vast space. Even the crackling fire couldn't pierce the gloom that had settled over their hearts. The jovial atmosphere evaporated, replaced by a palpable tension that hummed between them. The carefree laughter died down, replaced by a sobering silence. The weight of the forest pressed in on them, a tangible force that sapped their courage and chilled their bones. They tried to rally, to find solace in shared stories and nervous jokes, but it was a losing battle. The forest had other plans, its unseen inhabitants determined to make their presence known. Their laughter turned forced, their jokes brittle. Even the crackling fire couldn't dispel the oppressive dread that seeped into their souls. As the night wore on, the carefree merriment faded, giving way to hushed whispers and uneasy glances. The vibrant colors of the forest seemed to dim, replaced by an eerie palette of shadows and gloom. The playful rustle of leaves became a chorus of whispers, carrying tales of sorrow and despair. Each gust of wind seemed to moan through the ancient trees, their branches clawing at the sky like tormented souls. The forest, once a place of solace, had transformed into a menacing stage where the boundaries of reality blurred. Then came the chilling crescendo, a blood-curdling scream that shattered the fragile peace. It wasn't the call of a bird, the cry of a startled animal, or the echo of a passing train. It was the raw, agonizing sound of terror, a primal scream that tore through the darkness. In that instant, the forest shed its cloak of tranquility, revealing the predator that lurked beneath. The joyful camaraderie they'd shared moments before evaporated, replaced by a suffocating fear. As dawn painted the sky with hues of gray, their laughter turned to nervous chatter. The carefree joy of the previous evening seemed like a distant memory, replaced by annoying unease. The forest, once a place of solace, had transformed into a labyrinth of shadows and secrets. The playful rustle of leaves became a sinister whisper, the babbling brook a mocking taunt. The sun, veiled by a thick canopy, struggled to penetrate the gloom that clung to the ancient trees. Even the chirping of birds sounded like a dirge echoing through the silent woods. The carefree banter ceased, replaced by a somber quietude. The vibrantly colored foliage seemed to dull, as if draped in a shroud of impending sorrow. The trees, once majestic and inspiring, loomed over them like somber guardians of a forgotten tragedy. The forest floor, once inviting and soft, had hardened into a cold, unyielding stone, mirroring the chill that had settled in their hearts. And then they saw it, a fleeting shadow that danced at the edge of their vision. Hope surged, quickly followed by a surge of adrenaline. Was it Makoto? Had he somehow managed to signal his presence? Or was it a trick of their fear-tossed minds? In the heart of the ethereal sea of trees, they found solace, or so they thought. Then the whispers started, soft at first, like the rustling of leaves. But as the day waned, the whispers grew, weaving tales of sorrow and despair. The vibrant hues of the forest seemed to dim, replaced by an eerie palette of shadows and gloom. The carefree laughter that had echoed through the ancient trees was silenced, replaced by a haunting hush. The playful rustle of leaves turned into a chorus of lament, each whisper carrying a fragment of a story that refused to stay buried.